we need, yeah. Man, I got it, wow.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. This show we talk about sports with comedians. Let's get ready to bring in the comedians because we got a lot of stuff to cover today. Very interesting day today. My man Maurice Smith. Hold on, let me see. Okay, there you go. Mo, what's up? How you doing, sir?
What's good, Frank?
Oh man, it's been an interesting day. I can't wait to hear what you guys got to say about some of the stuff we're gonna talk about. My man D Jones in the building. D Jones, how you doing?
Close your blinds, Frank. You blinding us.
I keep forgetting to do that. How's that? Is that better? Is that better? My man filmmaker Jason Hayes in the building. Jay, how you doing, sir?
What's happening? My blinds are wide open though.
Yeah.
I'm mad your backdrop better than mine.
That thing cold, ain't it?
What is it? Is it a hotel?
I'm in the hotel.
Yeah, that's the GM building downtown Detroit.
Oh, okay.
50th floor.
Whoa.
Damn.
That's too high for me. Too high for me. All right, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Mo, sisters know Howie Bell. You gonna go up first? I'm gonna put you in the right position. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, this thing that I saw today, when I tell you, it was really, really, really disturbing. Detroit Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold is facing felony charges of armed robbery and kidnapping. Appeared at a hearing this morning in Tampa, Florida, and was ordered held without bond until a pretrial detention hearing scheduled for Monday morning. And it looks like he still won't get out on bail. Let me add that in there. But prosecutors will argue at the hearing that Arnold should remain in custody without bond until trial. That was announced today. Arnold turned himself in and was taken into custody on Wednesday night. He faces 4 counts of kidnapping, 4 counts of armed robbery, which carry a potential life sentence in prison. Authorities accuse him of leading a plot to detain and pistol whip 3 people he believed had stolen from him. It turned out, however, that the victims he did this to had nothing to do with the theft in February that he got upset about, Mom. Nothing to do with this. So when I saw that, a couple hours ago, I was like, this man is going to jail for the rest of his life. He got the run. Now, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Mo, but if he did this to people and they did rob him and everything else, I think there might be some leniency, even though he's in Florida. But he got the wrong group of people, according to what they're saying. Mo, tell me what your thoughts are.
My thoughts it is. If he got the wrong group of people, he shouldn't have went after nobody. He should have just called the proper authority. You are a superstar. You are somebody. You are a recognized face. Don't be out there. Didn't you learn from OJ?
Right.
Didn't OJ do the same thing in Vegas and went to jail?
Yeah, he was set up though.
Yeah, kind of different, but I understand what your point is. Like, you can't be an athlete and be committing crime.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. It's too wild. Kidnapping
and pistol whipping and tying them up and brandishing their weapon and going inside people's property, bro. Just one of those things you get life in prison. Well, I know in Massachusetts you get life in prison with just kidnapping. You know what I mean? But pistol whipping, tying them up, he got 3 or 4. He got to be awful. I don't know.
He got to break the dead flashlight.
Yeah, D Jones, talk to me, man. I know it's got to be bleak, and I know Detroit must be talking about this a lot in Detroit. Detroit fans, what's your take, D Jones? That's terrible, bro.
When you said Detroit fans and went to me, that's the wrong person to go to. Where's Howie at? Because listen, this is the dumbest thing. I actually thought of OJ too, because he wanted to get his trophy back.
His own stuff.
I guess they stole from him in an Airbnb or something, I heard.
Yeah.
Why not call the police? I guess he said, I got bread, I got guns, I'm gonna do this myself, okay? He wanted to be gangster, and he about to pay what gangsters pay, okay? But he's a dumb gangster. He probably was like, prison or play for the Lions. I go to prison, okay? It's pretty much the same thing. You're gonna lose either way. But one of them, you're going to give something up. So, yeah, I mean, it's just dumb. Somebody said he was on suicide watch. I seen his little hearing today. He had the green jumpsuit on, which tells me something was going on. Like, that just make you look guilty. You trying to kill yourself. But I hope this black man does not get life in prison. He going to do some time. But I just hope it ain't like just throw your whole life away for this is retarded.
100%. What's your take on this, Jay?
Hey man, this is why we have trials.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like this right here is just what's being reported. And I can tell you, as a person who grew up in the hood around a bunch of people who stole stuff and who got caught stealing stuff, and then in the goons, trying to apply pressure to figure out what happened. They ain't never admitted that they did it, right? So maybe he had the wrong people, maybe he didn't. I don't know, because I ain't never seen nobody admit, yeah, we stole a $250,000 worth of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So why is he messing with us, even though we did that? So let's see how it plays out. But I agree with D Jones. It's dumb. You got money, bro. And so if you got goons who are willing to roll with you to do this, why are you with them?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just have the goons go handle that. And if they get caught, then you know what it is. Maybe they got a snitch on you, but to be present for the whole thing, it don't make any sense to me.
So, Jay, are you saying you think? Well, you didn't say. What do you think about this level of guilt? I didn't even ask any of y'all. What do you think his level of guilt is? Because it seemed like that he. Yeah,
I don't know. Here's the thing. It seems like he did what they said that he did, showing up. I mean, because clearly it's eyewitnesses or whatever.
right.
But my thing is, I'm questioning whether these people are as innocent as they're proclaiming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they gotta verify to me that they had nothing to do with it and they ain't got none of that man's stuff. Now it won't really matter in the grand scheme, but it will matter in the grand scheme when when it comes to sentencing. Whether or not they feel like they can charge him all the way up there where they're charging him, because if they are proven to have been the people that stole the stuff, then that's a no-win case for the state's attorney office in the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody is going to be like, you ain't got the right to go get your stuff back. Not in that state.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens.
White Chocolate wanted to comment on this. So what's your thoughts on this, White Chocolate? Can't hear you. Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
My thought is the same as you guys. He's a dumbass. And listen, we already had Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and some other guys get their homes broken into.
Mm-hmm.
They let the authorities handle it. It took a little while, but they actually did catch the people that did it. I mean, why would you put your neck out there? And whether the people that he went after incorrectly, or whether they were the right people or the wrong people, I mean, just that whole thing is, dude, you're risking your life and you're throwing it away. And I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me why we would do that.
I will say this for the record. He really does not believe in the Detroit Lions, I guess, because as a star on the Detroit Lions, hell, as a player on the Detroit Lions, the Detroit police would have pressured the Florida police to make sure that they solved this, got on top of this case. That's what would have happened. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe I'm wrong and looking at it like this, but I think athletes have some say and some pull with the authorities. You know what I mean? If they feel that they were robbed, I think they have some say, even on the national.
Well, being a Detroit celebrity, you're right.
You're trying. You got jokes?
No, I'm just saying you're right. I know because I'm a Detroit celebrity, and
yeah,
you're right.
I'm gonna start walking around asking people, hey, do you know D Jones?
You should.
I'm gonna do that.
You start doing
should.
that. All right, Mo, we're going to move on to the next thing, man. And I wanted to mention this because I really don't talk about baseball too much, but I wanted to give this a quick thought real fast because baseball, even though we don't talk about baseball a lot, baseball is getting ready to be in a situation where they're going to have a strike. People are not paying attention to it. They're not talking about it and everything else, but they're going to have a strike. And the owners are trying to alleviate the strike. So here's one thing I got in this article. They said as part of the collective bargaining agreement with the players, Major League Baseball wants a maximum contract length of 5 years for free agents who are switching teams, while organizations will have the ability to keep their own players for up to 6 years. That's brand new. And with that being said, Bo, do you like that new thing? And do you think it'll keep, the players from possibly striking, or will the players and owners come to an agreement and think that that's fair? What you think, Mo?
Wait, so you're saying if I switch teams, I got to stay for 5 years?
If you switch teams, 5 years, 5-year agreement. If you don't, if the team got you and they're your team, it's 6 years. You know what I mean? Whereas it's not that high, not that long before, and because I think it's 3 right now.
But
But
ain't that what the contract is for? To say how long you gonna be there and how much you gonna get when you're there? Ain't that what the contract already for?
well, yes, but the way Major League Baseball set it up is right now. First of all, they don't have no type of obviously agreements and stuff like the NBA and the NFL. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's probably there's no, the union doesn't really back them up like that. It's not as congruent. I think I said that wrong. But anyway, thank you. It's not said. It's not like that like it is in the NFL, and it's not even close to the NBA. They're going to strike because there's only a certain amount of teams that are out there that have the ability to do whatever the hell they want and spend whatever the hell they want. And they're trying to alleviate all of that by putting a cap on how many years you can get a free agent for and how much money you can spend them. They want to put a maximum contract length on these free agents. That's the whole gist of it. Because right now, if you're a Yankee and everything else, they can keep flipping you and keep flipping you. They can do that. You know what I mean? They don't want to do that. So,
well, as a fan of a team that does whatever they want financially, I ain't agreeing with it. No. No. I'm just like somebody else when the NBA made it so that teams couldn't have multiple championships and they didn't like it. I don't like this one either. No, don't like it. No, I ain't feeling it. I'm like 2 shots of Novocaine. I ain't feeling that.
Hey, Frank.
Yes, sir.
I watch a lot of baseball and listen to a lot of the shows. Well, can I jump in here real quick?
Go ahead.
Listen, the way I'm reading this is they want the length of the contracts of the free agents. No more 10 years, 14 years, blah, blah.
So it's too longer. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. So they want a 5-year max. And also these controlling them for 6 years. When they first signed and they're like 20 years old, they retain their rights for 6 years before they can be eligible for arbitration. Then they keep them for another year or two. They keep them during their arbitration years. Then they become free agents. Then they sign for 10, 12, 14 years. And it's ML. The owners are trying to lock the players out. The players are not actually trying to go on a strike. And so all of this, it's a prelude to they're trying to make it. The owners are trying to pull a fast one here. I don't think the players are going to agree to this 5-year max.
Players are not going to agree with this at all. I don't see how they agree with it at all. Mm-hmm. But that's why I said, D. Jones, that we headed for a strike one way or the other because the owners, like Steve just said, they're trying to pull a fast one again. What's your take, D. Jones?
Well, I thought the Tigers been striking all year.
So the Red Sox.
They have been. The Red Sox have been.
I don't understand the politics of baseball. I think they play too many games and they make a ridiculous amount of money for a sport that don't have the viewership that they used to have.
Right.
So I don't, be honest with you, it sounds ridiculous to me. It sounds like damn near slavery. Like I don't know the right word for it. But it just doesn't sound right. So like you said, I don't think the players are gonna go for it because it sounds ridiculous.
Jay, what's your take?
I know the word that D. Jones is looking for. It's called indentured servitude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
right. Because I mean, I haven't read it, but based upon what's been conveyed, by Frank and Chocolate, it sounds like they're saying if we draft you, we own you outright for 6 years. And then in order for you to even begin to make more money outside of what we're willing to offer you to even reach arbitration, you got to do the fullness of this contract. And then maybe we'll let you go. And then you're free to sign, whatever you want to sign. And honestly, before where we're living right now in these times, I would have said there's no way it's ever going to pass. But the Supreme Court is not a Supreme Court right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they have proven themselves to be heavily on the side of corporate interests and big money and ownership and all, and against civil rights and, and all those things that people are entitled to in this country that the Constitution says that we have. Now, I still think this goes to the Supreme Court because this is something where they're disenfranchising people and controlling their upward mobility, almost like colluding To say, we're going to limit what you can make, where you can go, what you can do, and we're going to hold on to you on our terms for as long as we can. And I don't think it's going to play, bro. I really don't.
All right, so let's move on.
Can I just say one more thing real quick, Frank?
Yeah.
The owners are their own worst enemies because they're the ones giving out the long contracts. Now it's like they're trying to pull back and say, no, we don't want to have these guys at 40 years old making $30-40 million a year. I mean, they all have the ability to give the guy 5 years of an offer, and another guy will always trump another guy. So they're their own worst enemy. That's the last thing I want to say. Thank you.
Yeah, I want, but see, Steve, you open up the door, and I knew you were going to do that. You open up the door to something else too. The owners are put in that position because the agents will say, for example, if you have a player who wants to go to the Dodgers and you have a player that wants to go to the Red Sox, the agents will say, well, the Dodgers are offering X, Y, and Z, 5 years. If you want him, you got to keep him. You got to offer him more years. So in that instance, the owners are for the. I know there's not one owner out there who's going to walk in and say, you know what, I'm going to offer you 10 years for X amount of dollars. There's not any owner want to do that because they look at.
They're doing it now, but they don't want to do it anymore. I guess. Look at the guy for the Mets.
I don't even think they wanted to do it to start it. Like,
they don't. But I think what they're trying to do right now is they're trying to fix it and make it so that I only have to pay a guy for 5 years. I don't have to pay a $700 million contract.
But my point is you open up the door to say that, but you made it seem like it was the owners. I think it's the agents. I think you overlooked the agents are the one who started it because of look at that kid who's playing on the Dodgers right now. I forgot his name, the Asian kid. You know what I mean? Like
Ohtani?
Yeah. Ohtani, the Dodgers wanted to make sure that he stayed, so they offered him the most because they were going against one of the teams they were going against with him was the Yankees, the other one was the Red Sox and the Dodgers. When he was coming out, all these teams were sitting there saying we want in on Ohtani, and they kept over. One person would say one bid, the next one would say nothing, and they overbidded that. So I don't think it's the owner. I think it's the agents. To be honest,
no, it's always the owner, bro, because the owners have the power to say I'm not paying that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In the same way that you and I walk into the Gucci store and we see that bag, it costs $50,000. I'm not gonna go take out a mortgage on my house to get the bag. I'm gonna walk out the door because I have the autonomy to do that. Now, if you don't want to pay that, then you ain't gotta pay that, bro. Let that dude walk and get that money someplace else because they got the autonomy to do that. But see, to me, the issue is it's not just the years, it's the overall money because they don't want to pay but a certain amount of money annually. And that's why they stretch it out over 14 years instead of giving that dude $75 million a year over 5 years or whatever. So they're trying to not only, limit the years, they're trying to limit the total exposure of the money. Exactly. And it's always going to go back to them trying to do what's in their best interest financially.
And Frank is right. The agents drive up the price and they make the guys bid against each other. The owners in a bidding war against each other. So
that's called capitalism.
It's both.
Right.
It's both.
Yeah, I think
it's called capitalism.
I think we both were right in that instance. All right, let's talk about the hot topic that everybody's talking about today. Because I know we all woke up this morning, and even though I think was it last night? I think it was last night when the deal happened. Mo, I'm gonna put you in the right position. You got to tell me what your thoughts are, Mo. Because at the end of the day, let me first read the story for those of you out sitting there. And if you sit under a rock, you didn't hear anything about it. The Charlotte Hornets are trading star guard LaMelo Ball and Josh Green to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Naz Reid and a series of draft picks. In addition to Reid, the Hornets are going to receive 2033 unprotected first-round pick and 3 second-round picks for 2029, 32, and 33. Charlotte also gets first-round pick swaps in 28, 29, and 30. The Hornets fielded aggressive offers in recent days from multiple teams pursuing Ball, and the Timberwolves, Toronto Raptors, and Portland Trailblazers were among the teams that were after him. Mo, talk to me about this because I can't wait to tell y'all what the starting five look like because the starting five is we're going to talk about their starting five in a second. But first, talk to me and tell me what you think about LaMelo Ball going to the T-Wolves. No.
I think LaMelo Ball going to the T-Wolves takes a lot of pressure off Ant-Man because he won't be getting doubled up. He won't have to do. Right. They got a point guard. He was doing a lot of point guard duties in the during the season and in the playoffs. Right. So it takes a lot of. And LaMelo Ball, he's not a bad ball distributor either, and he's got a good 3-pointer. So I mean, I think they gave up a lot for him. I want to know the front court. The front court is good with Ball and Ant-Man, but they gave up Naz Reid. That's a big hole to fill. What are they going to do about that? That's what I'm wondering about.
Well, Mo, since you brought it up, they got Melo. They're gonna have Melo. They're gonna have Ant Edwards. They re-signed Ayo Dosunmu. They got Jaden McDaniels, who to me he's getting better and better every year.
And that's why Nas got traded.
Yep, that's why Nas got traded, because Jaden shined. And then you got Rudy Gobert. So now you're sitting there saying, okay, that starting five, it looks better right now than the starting five that they rolled out that they had. You know what I mean? Because you got two players getting better, and then you bring in LaMelo Ball. You know what I mean? So how you think about that starting five, Mo? What you think?
I think it's a decent starting five. I don't know if it's a championship starting five.
You said decent, Mo.
Yeah.
They definitely going to be. They could be flip flopping for the second seed in the West with no problem.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a decent. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm not saying it's not a good team. I'm just saying I don't know if it's championship caliber. I don't think they're looking for deep run the playoff. They're looking for ring or bust.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll give that to you. All right. I'll give it to you. D. Jones, what is your take on this? First of all, tell me what your thoughts are on LaMelo Ball being traded to the T-Wolves. And did it surprise you like it surprised everybody else, or where were you at with that?
I wasn't that surprised. I wasn't like, oh my God. I love watching LaMelo Ball play. He's exciting. It's like watching the Harlem Globetrotters. He's dope. He's not a great three-point shooter. He just shoot too much. Now, Ant, he can hit you 6 threes out the game. He's starting to shoot too much too. The problem is Ant's a winner. LaMelo is not. I love watching his game, but I would hate for him to be my point guard because he's not a team player. Even though he's gonna pass you the ball, he's looking for highlights. He's not looking for winning. It's kind of like on White Man Can't Jump, where he told Wesley, like, y'all looking to, you know what I'm saying, to be on TV. Y'all not really looking to win. So it looks good for Ant because he needs somebody to take the pressure off of him. But I just wouldn't want LaMelo to be my starting point guard for my team. Now, I'm going to watch, and I'm going to go to the game, but I'm glad he's not my starting point guard.
What do you think about that new starting five?
Oh, it's dope. It's dope if they got good coaching. If LaMelo can play team ball and kind of switch how he been playing in Charlotte and just going gung-ho, oh, they'll be dope.
Okay. All right. So, Jay, that leads me to you, Jay, because I don't understand what some of these guys are saying.
I don't either.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get it.
First of all, talk to me about what you think about the trade, and then we're gonna talk about the starting five. First thought, the trade.
The trade tells me that Charlotte believes more in building around Knipple than LaMelo.
Yep.
And that's why they pretty much gave him away for nada. This is a former number 1 overall pick, right? Or was he number 2?
I think it was 2.
No, he was 2 because Ant went first.
Yeah, I think it was 2.
Him and Ant went 1-2 in the same draft, I believe. Right? So now if I'm Ant, man, I'm like Michael Jackson. Because he is a pass first point guard.
Yep.
And now I think a lot of the reason why Ant was breaking down during the season was because he'd do a lot of the ball handling too. So now you got like a 6'6", 6'7" point guard coming in who can really handle the ball. He can beat initial defenders all day long, breaking down the defense. And he's a pass first person. If I'm Ant and all those other shooters do, I'm out here like doing backflips because I know all I gotta do is find the open spot and he's gonna find me. So it's gonna be a lot of easy shots created by that dude coming into that organization. And the only reason that I think they got off of him was because they was like, we know we gotta pay Knipple down the road. We don't, and we think we can probably get something similar to what LaMelo does for us in the draft for cheaper. So let's get rid of his contract. And let's just build, focus and moving forward. Because the deal, man, they really didn't get a whole lot in return.
And you know what, Jay? They're gonna have about 15 to 20 highlights this whole upcoming
season. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be Lob City, man.
It's gonna be Lob City all day. It's gonna be the new Lob City, how it was with the Clippers with Chris Paul and Blake, if you ask me. Yeah. Melo loves to throw the alley-oop and he loves to play fast. He loved to play really, really fast. I think it's a perfect marriage for him to go there. He's probably happy as all outside, and Ant-Man is too. But anyway, talk to me about what you think about this starting five, because Quiet is kept. Jay, a lot of people are not paying attention to two people on their team, and that's Ayo Dosunmu, and that's obviously Jaden McDaniels, because those two kids can ball. Like
McDaniel's tough, bro.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, McDaniel is the reason why they said we don't need Nas Reed. Like, we love him.
Right.
He's a great player, but we got to find more shots and more minutes for McDaniel, because he might be that next one for us.
Right.
You know, to really play along, and then now you got LaMelo in there. So now McDaniel really ain't got a hand on the rock. You know, so now he can rim dive too. I'm telling you, man, this makes them boys real dangerous. I'm telling you.
Jay, I would go out on a limb and say this. I wouldn't be surprised if they had the second seed in the West next year. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be either. I wouldn't be surprised if they had the first seed.
Yeah, I could go that far too. I wouldn't be surprised they got the first or second seed next year in there. Steve, you want in on this?
I got a quick thought.
Okay, what's your thought?
My thought is I wish the Celtics got a point guard like him to handle the ball, so I don't have to watch Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum handle the ball. We've talked about this on our show before, and not that they could get LaMelo Ball, but I think he would be a good fit for what the Celtics need. And so, as far as Minnesota, though, listen, they made a huge upgrade. And to you guys' point, had to carry the load. He broke down a little bit near the end in the playoffs. Yep. He missed some games. And anytime you can add somebody that takes that pressure off, that's a huge improvement for them. So good for them.
I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out in 6 months or a year that Jaylen Brown was in talks to go to Charlotte, because that's obviously the former Celtics head coach down there. Charles Lee knows what he's doing, down there. Charles Lee loves Knipple. You know what I mean? They're building around Knipple. I saw it the midway half season. I was like, okay, this kid is the future. Melo's not.
He legit.
Yeah, he's a pure shooter. He's probably one of the best shooters, if not the second best, third best shooter in the league. I think I saw the writing was on the wall. So I wouldn't be surprised by that. All right, so Mo.
The Timberwolves actually called on Brown. But
I think something didn't happen, so they couldn't make that. I think they were going. I wouldn't be surprised if word was coming out that they were trying to make that deal and it just didn't work out. What were you gonna say, Jay?
Frank, really quickly, they quietly re-signed that young boy, Minnesota, that they had in their squad. That went out and got like 50. Yeah. In the playoffs, he was buried on the bench until he had to play.
Yeah.
They paid that dude. They paid him $200 million to keep him. They legit.
And they drafted a kid who's really, really good too. So it'd be interesting to see. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but it'd be interesting to see how they go. All right, so Mo, this leads me. I heard a couple of things, Mo. Let me put you in the right position, Mo. I heard a couple of things, Mo, which is really interesting, and I want to make sure we had to talk about this and everything else. Rumors have been going up across all the NBA boards, and then I saw a flash across ESPN this morning that LeBron James is being rumored to go back to Cleveland, and they're not just heating up. They white right now, as of before we got this show. Right now, it's white hot. Like, people are all around the league. I called my cousin, and I called a friend of mine who's a former ref, and they all believe LeBron is going back to Cleveland. And they said if Cleveland don't work that thing out, they don't know what's going to happen, but they all believe LeBron's going back to Cleveland. Now, here's the interesting thing, Mo. James Harden is a free agent. So my thing is, do you think that they've signed LeBron and not signed James Harden? Do you think they do both? What are your thoughts on LeBron possibly going to Cleveland? And what do you think they do with James Harden? Because if LeBron is coming back to Cleveland with James Harden and with Donovan Mitchell, now you got something. But if one is not there, I don't know. What's your take, Joe?
Well, we always been saying LeBron may go back to Cleveland. Even before this rumor happened, we were saying it during the playoffs, during the season. It was like LeBron's going to finish off in Cleveland. This is where he's going to go in Cleveland to finish off his career, blah, blah, blah. Can they afford to sign Harden and LeBron at the same time?
That's the question. That's
what I'm wondering. I'm not saying can they afford it? I don't think they can afford both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the question. That's the question.
So, and they still got Spider there. His contract ain't nothing to sneeze at. So I don't think they can afford. Somebody got to go. And last hire, first fire, and that'd be James Harden.
Yeah. All right. So that brings me to you, D Jones. D Jones. Like I said, LeBron to Cleveland rumors is heating up. The LeBron to Miami rumors is nowhere. Like, I couldn't find that hardly anywhere. I saw it on maybe 2 sites, but I didn't see it a lot. But LeBron to Cleveland's rumors heating up, and again, James Harden's a free agent. You think they're gonna make it all work with all of them? You think they're gonna prioritize LeBron? What's your thoughts?
I'm talking about old, washed up, always going from team to team. Okay. And I'm talking about James Harden. I would give
Right.
LeBron tomorrow. Okay,
Right.
listen. I want LeBron to come play power forward for the Pistons. I want him to go to Cleveland. To Cleveland? No, thank you. LeBron, you don't need to go home. You've been there, okay? LeBron, listen to me. The Motor City is the place to be. Come to Detroit, man. Come to Detroit. Get you a championship. And if he come to Detroit, I'll call him the GOAT.
Oh my God.
He come to Detroit, he the GOAT.
I'm making sure ain't no lightning bolt coming through this window, man.
I'm trying to tell you. You sure?
He the GOAT, man. And bring your son with you. We want him too.
If all right. So Jay, we've been talking about Cleveland. I think you mentioned Cleveland a while ago, but you probably stuck more on Miami. But you're the one who definitely mentioned. I know I was the one who said I don't see it happening at all. But I'll give that one to you again too. I'm hating to say that you're right these many times in the last week. I'm honestly hating that. But what's your take on LeBron, the Cleveland rumors, and or do you think that they keep James Harden, too? What's your thoughts?
I believe that where there's smoke, there's fire.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it actually works out or not, I don't know that. But I know that if you're hearing this in a lot of different places, that they're probably trying to figure out a way to do it. Another thing, they paid Reeves.
Yep.
And we've been saying that we don't really believe that LeBron, was going to stay with the Lakers because we felt like Jeannie Buss burned that bridge with him.
Right.
As for Miami, I got 2 words: chocolate chip cookies.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Bron's still holding resentment about that, with Pat Riles and and Spoelstra, taking chocolate chip cookies away all them years ago. But here's the thing, to get to the crux of it. If you got to extend a player for the next 2 to 3 years at $50 million a year, would you rather pay James Harden or would you rather pay the dude who hung the only championship banner in the rafters that your franchise has ever experienced? You know what I'm saying? To me, it's a no-brainer if he's willing to come back, because if Harden is a free agent, then why would I bring back Harden? Because we already know what we get with him. His resume is he's gonna choke up when it's winning time in the playoffs, and you're not gonna go any further with him. Now, I get why Cleveland is appetizing to LeBron, because they lost East Conference Finals. They got swept, but they made it there. So they might be like a LeBron James away from getting over the hump with all those young dudes they got. So it makes sense for him to do that.
I just got an alert on my phone. The alert I just got says Shams Charania. However pronounce his name. Thank you. He says that. Let me make sure. Of course, now as soon as I went to pull it up, it went down. He says there hasn't been much communication, if any, between LeBron James and the Lakers since the end of the season. That tells you everything you need to know right there. I think he's not going back. Piggyback off what Jay said. I think it tells you that he's definitely not going to be a Laker, because we saw it with the Austin Reeves thing, and then also, he's trying to find out where he can go. And there's one more thing, Jay, before I throw it to white chocolate. Okay, I don't know what happened to Jay. One more thing before I throw it to whoever I throw it to. Anybody here, actually, Steve, you can jump in on this. One more thing. The thing that's really interesting is Cleveland is shopping Evan Mobley. I don't know if people are even noticing that either, but they're shopping Evan Mobley. You know what I mean? And they're shopping him heavy to the Celtics too. So, Steve, you want to jump in on that? You want to say something on that?
So yeah, real quick, I was just looking at their payroll, and their payroll is $222 million, and Evan Mobley's going to make 50, and Donovan Mitchell's going to make 50. And James Harden has the player option to jump back in at 42. Mm-hmm. Now, being a free agent and having a player option, what's the difference? Like, if he exercises his player option, is he stuck in Cleveland and they have to dump him?
Yes. If he exercises his player option, he's stuck.
So if he does that and then they try to get LeBron, they have to probably trade Evan Mobley in order to make LeBron fit, unless they're okay with going over like however many aprons it is. That they have to be okay with that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna throw this out there and say, I don't think that there would be any issue with them getting rid of Evan Mobley to bring back LeBron. I think here's the crazy part, and you guys can agree or disagree, whatever you want. You can chime in, please. Let me know what you think. I don't even think it's about winning the championship if they bring LeBron back to Cleveland. I think it's about making money, because LeBron, like Jay said, he bought the only rafter up there, the only banner in the rafters. And if he comes back to Cleveland, jersey sales will be through the roof, ticket sales will be through the roof, people will be up there. And then, of course, all the cameras go back to Cleveland, which they haven't had since he left. Not like that.
I think it's about a championship, though. I don't think it's just for LeBron. He's still chasing the GOAT, but I don't see him going to Cleveland. I see him going to Golden State.
Really? Okay.
Really?
Yeah. He acts like him and Steph Curry are bosom buddies.
Well, but you know what? Mathematically, that might not work because Al Horford just re-upped to Golden State. He opted out of his existing contract and just re-upped it for more. Steve, can you look up see how much money he did? He re-upped and he got paid even more money. So it might not even work unless Golden State doesn't bring back Draymond Green, because Draymond Green is I think he's a free agent too. I saw it last night in the draft. He is a free agent. You know what I mean? So again, it's that kind of issue. I don't know.
2 years, $14 million, Al Horford. So that's probably like $7 million a year.
Yeah, $7 million a year.
He was making like 20 or 20 something. So that's a huge cut.
But even if Cleveland gets rid of Mobley, and they still not making room for LeBron, because you say Evan Mobley making 50 this year?
Yeah.
So that still puts them. It's like.
Yeah, but they come under the apron. You know what I mean?
Okay. I got you.
Yeah, but like they could pay you so much money, but what they don't want to do is you got 4 years. You got a two level apron. You got in 4 years. You got to make sure you under it twice. That's what the Celtics are in right now. That's why they kind of forced to try to figure out how they're going to do with Jaylen Brown. They came under it this past year, and now they got 3 more years to figure out which year it's going to be this year, next year, year after. They're going to come under it, and that's why they might get rid of Jaylen Brown because again, max contract. People are saying LeBron James is trying to get a max contract also. So I don't know what's going to do it. I don't know. But anyway, that leads me.
Golden State's payroll is 181 million.
And you hear that? That's what 8 million, 10 million under their thing. And so, all right, now it's time to play a little game. I wanted to play this game with y'all. So we're gonna pretend to be a GM or a couple of GMs. And Mo, you gonna like I gave you guys this homework yesterday. I said you all pick a team. I don't care what team it's gonna be. Mo, you can pick whatever team you're gonna be. Which team you think is going to be making the most offseason moves to drastically make their teams different and or better? And I want you to be the GM to figure out which that team. Because honestly, I was going to say Charlotte yesterday, and Charlotte already beat me to it. That was one of my teams yesterday because I think Charlotte is trying to be on the come up. And I got one other team in my head that's ringing in my head that's really going to make a splash. And matter of fact, I think I'll go now and say it. I think it's going to be Atlanta. I think Atlanta and Charlotte are my 2 teams that I was going to pick yesterday. But Mo, who are your 1, 2, 3 teams that you think is going to do something that's going to be more drastic when free agency really starts on July 1st?
Team that's going to do something that's going to be drastic when free agency starts.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Minnesota. No, I'm going to say Miami. I think they still got to fill it. They got to fill in the roster in Miami. Yeah. I don't think they're fully complete over there. Brooklyn Nets.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be a team that's going to try to do something like that. And I'm going to put the Wizards in there.
I like those 3 are some really good select. Like, honestly, Mo, those are really good 3. That's a really good 3. I like that because honestly, of those 3, all 3 of them are in that situation where they got to do something. All right, so D. Jones, that brings me to you. You're a GM.
This is a tough question. I don't know what team I'm going to say.
Not besides. How about this? If I say to you besides the Pistons? Okay. You're a GM. You can pick any team you want or a couple of teams. But which team or teams do you think is going to be making more drastic moves to get their teams better or do something drastic or shocking when free agency opens on July 1st?
Well, if I can't, so don't say that. If I can't say the Pistons,
we know you're going to say the Pistons, though.
But I go another team. Kawhi Leonard's going to San Antonio.
Okay. You got to say something else besides that. Why?
Well, he's already going through some stuff with the Clippers in that contract, so they might have to let him go anyway. He's a free agent, and they got players they can trade to the Clippers, and we know the Clippers do stupid trades. And if Kawhi go play with Wemby, damn it, they'll win a championship.
Yeah. If he stays healthy, I can see that.
You only need him for 14 games in the playoffs. Saw you.
16 to win, but 14 games.
16,
Right.
did 14,
Yeah. So that leaves me to you.
it's gonna be the Pistons. It's gonna be Norman Powell and maybe Rui from the Lakers.
You know, the funny thing is the Pistons was heavy in on what's his name who just re-upped with the Lakers, Austin Reeves.
Reeves, yeah. But they moved Stewart to get more cap space, so they gonna do something free agency.
Yeah, I think they moved him specifically to go after Reeves, and then now that didn't, I think they got a plan B and C. You know what I mean?
Well, they signed Reeves before they moved him.
Yeah, right. But while they were trying to get him is the reason why the Lakers signed him. It pressured them to sign him faster because they didn't want July 1st to come up and he can go anywhere. That's what they were doing. They had a window on him to hold him for a couple of days.
And I'm glad we don't got him. He's soft.
Actually, he would have worked good with your team, though.
I think he overrated.
He would have worked good with the Detroit Pistons. All right, so Jay, that leads me to you. You're a GM, Jay. You're sitting there, you tell me the team or teams. And some teams have already made drastic changes and everything else. They've done some stuff different. But which team or teams do you think is going to continue to do or will start to do something different and drastic to make their team better by July 1st, the beginning of free agency?
Well, very quickly, as the resident Detroiter here, what I'm hearing around in Detroit, where I am, they said that they traded Stewart so that they can re-sign Duren.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying, D. Jones.
That makes sense.
They about to get that boy the max. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, in terms of who's going to continue making huge moves, it's going to be the Miami Heat and Pat Riley. That dude wants to win a championship every single year, and he will do any and everything he can. He is not going to stop at Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
He already pulled off, phase one, of whatever he's cooking up, and he will go to any lengths to win games. So look out for Miami to go after somebody that we ain't thought about.
You know what, Jay? You just reminded me of something I read today. I read that he might be in on Chet at OKC. I was like, I
wouldn't be surprised.
I meant to write that down for the show today. I wouldn't be surprised if they land Chet, because Chet would work perfect with what they're trying to build down there. You know what I mean?
Or Jay Will. He'd take.
Yeah, I can see that working. Steve, you want in on this?
Yeah, Frank, you're gonna hate this.
Okay.
I'm the GM of the Celtics, and I am now forced to trade Jaylen Brown because they know he's been shopped. He's probably pissed off, and I don't see how they can bring him back. So I have we've talked about these names, and I'm not trying to steal your thunder because I saw what you put up earlier, but Chet Holmgren, OKC, Anthony Davis in Washington, and Orlando with Banchero. Any one of those three teams find a way to make a deal. Or, and I didn't realize until I just heard this, or what you could do, and if I was the GM, this is the first guy I would reach out to now that he's a free agent, is Porzingis and bring him back and add him to the mix. You don't have to pay him $30 million. Hopefully, maybe he'll take less. Maybe he'll take 15 or 20.
It's funny you say that, because honestly, I think the Celtics are quietly talking about Porzingis to come back. I think they are. I hope they don't. If they're looking at what's his name from Portland, I think they also look at Porzingis too. I think they would, because they need.
I'm just looking at if you want to keep them together and you need a guy. Or put it this way, Anthony Davis, brittle, older, right? You either want Banchero or you want Chet Holmgren, and so if you can't trade Brown?
If they could trade Brown for somebody, there's only a handful of people, but I like Banchero because I think his game complements Jason Tatum, and I think they could do some work with that and everything else.
And Brown would instantly be the best player on Orlando if he went there.
Yeah, he definitely would. And believe it or not, guys, this was hilarious. I was arguing with some guys on the internet that some people believe that Brown is not better than Banchero. I was like, what? And then I decided, let me stop arguing with people who are fans of their team.
How can that be? He was in the top 5 in the MVP running this year. That's insane.
Right then and there is when I stopped. You know how sometimes we argue with people, like how you argue with Knicks fans, and you realize, you know what?
Why I got to catch a straight? Why we got to catch a straight shot?
only because I've argued with Knicks fans for so long. Now I ain't gonna argue with them no more. But I cut it for so long. After a moment, you say, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm not arguing no more. But now, guess what? The Knicks fans ain't gonna catch no more strays. As a matter of fact, the Knicks fans now can we throw the first blow, right, Mo? Y'all can throw the first blow because y'all
Yeah,
are the
right.
reigning NBA champs. Like
That's right. That's right, baby.
reigning NBA champs. All right,
Only
so
took 73 years.
here we go.
You
But
know
they got
what?
the chance right now. All right, so we did the thing. Now, I don't know if you guys got a chance to see this Floyd Mayweather thing, but I want to talk about this. Floyd Mayweather's exhibition fight against Mike Zambidis in Greece this Saturday has been called off according to federal courts that were filed on Thursday here. Even though the fight is scheduled somewhere else, it got called off. The fight has been in question after CSI, an events company contracted to hold both Mayweather fights, sued Mayweather in Southern District of New York, alleging breach of contract, and filed an emergency injunction petition to halt the fight, which they were granted. Mo, talk to me about this, because quiet as kept. Mo, I don't know if you even heard this. Maybe you guys might have heard this or not. Maybe, I don't know. You all tell me what you heard and everything else, Mo. But I've been hearing that Floyd Mayweather is having money problems. That's why he's agreeing to all these exhibition fights and everything else. So I think he's, I think it's part of the issue. What's your take on this, Mo?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't be surprised if he having money problems. The way he was just throwing money around, this, that, doing this, that. He probably over there playing games on the internet so he can pay his bills. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know. Listen, honestly, I think boxing has been made like it's just sad what boxing has become. A sport that at one point was like one of the greatest sports in the world. Like it was one of the greatest titles to hold when you was a champ, especially the heavyweight champ. Now it's just a joke. And Mayweather, man, I don't know what to say about him. He
Jay needs to do a documentary on the fall of boxing over the last 30, 40 years, because you're absolutely right with that one, Mo. You're right with that one. All right, so D. Jones, talk to me about what you think. What you think about what's going on with this Floyd Mayweather fight? Do you think he had something to do with this breach of contract that was called off?
He went from pretty boy to money. He needed to switch his name to Floyd. Spent all my money, Mayweather, because that's what it feels like. Floyd Mayweather, 60 years old now. Okay, you should be promoting fights and making money instead of trying to do these exhibition fights that mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? He need a financial advisor. Maybe he should call 50 Cent and get a loan. You know what I'm saying? But he lived a great, rich life, one that I would have loved to live. Okay, I seen Floyd Mayweather's Instagram videos. He'd had 30 girls in a hotel room dancing and throwing money, and that's the life I had wanted for myself. Okay, that's the life I had prayed for. So I don't want to be him now, but I damn sure wanted to be him then.
Jay, you get a word on this. What's your take on this, Jay? Floyd Mayweather fight being called off, and actually in New York. What's your take?
I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of reasons why things get called off. But I'll say this: Floyd Mayweather doesn't know how to do anything else but fight. So, I mean, and there's nothing that's gonna ever, I'm gonna use a SAT word here. There's nothing that's ever gonna satiate him the way that boxing does. And so I think a huge part of why he keeps fighting is because he doesn't do anything else, and he actually loves doing it. Like people don't talk about this stuff about Floyd. Floyd doesn't drink. Floyd doesn't smoke. He doesn't do drugs. He's in the gym every day, hitting the bags, jumping rope, running. He stays in shape. And so for him to keep doing all those things and then have no fight on the horizon, I think that's kind of what's fueling it. But I also think that he done messed a lot of money up too. And to me, what he's doing fighting exhibitions is no different than like the OJs touring the country, with Gladys Knight singing their greatest hits. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no new albums coming, but they can get off, and still make a living off what they've already done. So I'm more looking at it like that, because he's not taking no real chances fighting in exhibitions.
100%. Okay, so Steve, you get the final word on this topic.
Honestly, I think it's sad. I think that you guys touched on it already. Boxing is not nearly what it used to be. I wish it was. We all can go back and watch, ABC Wild World of Sports, and you had the top 4 guys: Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, and George Foreman. You don't have that anymore. And these, Floyd Mayweather might want to fight, but he's not going to make a draw like he used to. And there's no, over 40 or over 50 basketball league or anything like that. And so I just think it's unfortunate. He messed up his money, and I think I just was quickly looking at some of the debt he has. He's in a world of hurt. So, I think it's too bad. I think it's too bad.
Is he like $50 million in debt? I heard he's like $50 million in debt.
The IRS filed a $7.3 million lien against him for unpaid taxes from 2018 to 2023. And he filed a lawsuit against Showtime for $340 million. And there's a whole bunch of he borrowed $54 million using his commercial properties, a private jet, 14 properties. I mean, he overspent basically and mismanaged what he did. I mean, that's just crazy.
All right, so Mo, I want to get this other topic in because it looks like we got some time. I don't know if you guys got a chance to hear about this, but Phoenix Mercury forward Elise Thomas received a flagrant foul 2 penalty and a 1-game suspension for what is being called recklessly making contact with her fist into the throat area of Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark, the WNBA announced Thursday. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch this, but this happened last night in a game, and it committed a non-basketball act, and Caitlin Clark looked like she really did get mollywopped. And did you see it, Mo? Did you see the truth?
I saw it all. I saw it a few times. And I'm wondering, was she in the motion and couldn't get her? Because it looked like she was in the motion and couldn't get a balance. And her hand went into her throat. I mean, I'm not saying it was right, but that's what it looked like to me the last time I saw it. I don't think it was intentional. But the coach came out and was just flipping out and made it seem that it's intentional. I don't think it was. I'm not saying it was right, but it looked like she was just trying to get a balance because it didn't look like she did it intentionally.
Well, to me, I think she did it intentionally. I think she added on more to it. You know what I mean? Like a Draymond Green type of thing. I think when she realized she was falling, she was going to make sure she got more. I mean, I don't know, Mo. You could be right. I don't know. D. Jones, did you happen to see the clip of this on this video of this?
Oil.
What do you mean oil?
I'm sorry. Typo. They be treating Caitlin Clark like she Shaq. I think she get fouled more than anybody in the league. They don't like her. And didn't the white girl do this to her?
No, black girl.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, they don't like her. She gets fouled a lot.
A lot of her teammates don't like her either. I don't know if you noticed this either.
A coach don't like
y'all. A lot of them didn't come to her defense either. You know what I mean?
Yes, I remember her saying something to the coach like, "Don't talk to me" or something like that.
Yeah.
But like I said the first time,
Oh, okay. Jay, what's your take on this, bro? I know you saw the clip.
Yeah, I saw it, man. But what they run with, the papers, because they want to create this narrative that they're targeting Caitlin. And, and they're so extra, they're running with the freeze frame. And a freeze frame leaves, it just shows you what the end result was. It doesn't show you what led up to it. I more agree with Mo, where I think that, like maybe she just lost her balance and just fell. And, and Caitlin was just laying down there and she landed on top of her. So if I'm falling, I'm not going to make sure that I take most of the brunt. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to fall on your ass. You know what I mean? Protect myself. So, but given how Caitlin whines all the time and the MAGA whites whine all the time about Caitlin, this is fitting. Give her the 1-game suspension, shut them up, and go back to playing basketball again.
Okay. Steve, you want to end on this?
Yeah, I actually just watched it. They got a slow-mo thing going on here. Honestly, I agree with Jay. It kind of looks like she fell, and the girl that landed on top of her was actually going for the ball. And I think when she went to go for the ball, she lost her balance and she just landed on Caitlin Clark. I don't think she was purposely trying to punch her in the throat. It's just the way it looked when she was going for the ball. The ball actually squirted away, and then when she finishes landing, it lands on her. I mean, I don't think it's a flagrant foul there.
Well, honestly, I do. I watched the game highlights and what was building up to it. I think she did it on purpose. And honestly, this is gonna sound really bad and really, really bad. And Caitlin Clark deserved it because honestly, she was being nasty the whole game, throwing little small elbows and so like she deserved it. You know what I mean? And
She always does that.
Yeah, and when you do that to other teams and everything else, eventually when they can hit you with one of these, they're going to hit you with one of these. You know, that's what they're going to do. So I wasn't mad it happened. It just goes to show you that you ain't carrying the league like you all saw that clip a couple months ago when she told.
And this is a case of she can dish it out, but she can't take it. That's not
exactly. Right. That's what I'm saying.
And they went from the 50 Cent school of thought. 50 Cent said, "I don't want no problems, but if you want a problem, no problem." That's what they told Caitlin.
I never heard.
I'm not throwing elbows and all that stuff, but if you want to do that, let's just throw elbows.
And y'all are crazy. All right, so we can roll up out of here. Before we leave, you all need to tell me what you all got going on in your world and everything else. I see you guys in Detroit, and you guys got to tell me about that show happened last night with Howie and everything else. I'm gonna get to you all in a second. First, Mo, tell me what's going on in your world and how we can follow you.
Always MOE_comic on Instagram. I'm out vending tomorrow, baby. M's Basic Bags. I'm at a church tomorrow.
Are you in Boston at all? Are you in Boston? Or you
sometime I'll be in Boston. I'll let you know if I gotta look on the schedule. Tomorrow I'm in Randolph. I'm in Randolph tomorrow afternoon. Actually, I won't be able to do the show because I gotta start at 4:30 from 4 to 8. But that's what I'll be doing, baby.
Yeah, I love me some bags. I like them. You know what I mean? And my wife definitely loves pocketbooks. So, all right. So that means brings you to you, D Jones. What's going on in your world, D Jones? And how was the show last night? Because I know you went.
I did not go. I was outside selling my pocketbooks. Pocketbooks.
You know what?
Pocketbooks by D Jones. So y'all can go www.pocketbooks by D Jones and get your girl and your side chick a pocketbook. And this weekend I'll be headlining the Barclays Center. Since Jay is in Detroit, I'm going.
That's right. If I'm in Detroit, you may as well be in Brooklyn.
I'll be at the Barclays headlining this weekend, selling pocketbooks.
Since Jay's in Detroit?
Yeah. Jay went to the concert.
All right. Well, Jay, you got to tell me about how the concert was. What happened?
I went to the concert. I missed Howie's opening thing. You know, it was a concert with this jazz saxophonist who was cold. I'm forgetting his name right now. And Layla Hathaway was the headliner.
Right.
And Layla's like that. But I miss Howie's performance, like being inside, but we were outside trying to get in while he was performing because it took us 30 minutes to get an elevator to go downstairs at the hotel because there's a conference happening here, and the hotel is like antiquated. Elevators not working there, like 1,000 people trying to move at the same time. So we got there at the tail end. But Howie was really excited when I got there, when we got inside. And to quote him, because he said, it's really hard, to make people at an outdoor arena be engaged and laugh. So Howie said, I got their ass. Because they was out there laughing, he had them rolling, you could hear it. So, and then he rolled out. But the concert was incredible, man.
What floor are you on?
Detroit, underrated city, bro. Underrated city.
What floor are you on that you all couldn't walk down the stairs?
I'm on the 50th floor.
Oh, you really are on the 50th floor?
I'm on the 50th floor.
Well, yeah,
you can't show him Canada from behind you?
I can't. Hold on. See right there?
No, I just see white. We just see white.
Oh, it's watching out.
Canada over his shoulder.
That's Canada on the other side of the river, bro.
We at the Renaissance?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, that's a big hotel. I've been there before. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been there. Detroit is okay. I'm gonna have to go to Detroit.
It's underrated, bro. I've been out walking all day.
I've never been to Detroit ever.
It's wonderful, man. It's beautiful.
I only been to Detroit airport like 4 or 5 times, but I never been to Detroit. All right, so Steve, tell me what's going on in your world so we can wrap up out of here.
Follow me and Frank on Boston Straight Shooters on Facebook and YouTube tonight at 8 o'clock. We're definitely going to talk about Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Jaylen Brown.
Sure.
Hey, listen, that's another bridge burned, I think, fellas. I think that
agree.
bridge is burned.
With Jalen
I
Brown?
agree.
Yeah, it's burned.
Yep.
It's on fire. It's on fire.
I think it's burned.
He should
All
come
right,
to
so
Detroit.
the name of the show is called Box Seats. We're gonna be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna have another
Pocketbooks.
yeah, pocketbooks over there. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.
Hey, what you need?